All right, let's just jump right in. Every single modern digital platform is basically wrestling with one massive fundamental challenge. How in the world do you balance the explosive scale of an open network with the absolute necessity for high-quality data? It is a brutal tightrope to walk. You want everyone to contribute, sure, but you need the end result to be completely reliable. And honestly, understanding how to pull this off isn't just some academic exercise. It is absolutely essential for the future of artificial intelligence and network design. So in today's explainer, we're diving right into the architecture that actually makes this possible.
So how exactly do platforms protect their quality? Whenever you're building a system that relies on crowdsourced knowledge or user inputs, protecting the integrity of that data is literally everything. If the data goes bad, the platform dies. It's really that simple. Today, we're going to unpack the two extreme, polar opposite approaches platforms currently take to try and solve this problem. And then we'll reveal the ultimate synthesis that completely breaks the compromise. That brings us to Section 1, the platform quality dilemma, the two extremes.
Okay, here's the mental framework we're going to use for our entire journey today. On one side, you have the closed, heavily guarded approach. It is entirely about control. And then on the other side, you have the wildly open, organic free-for-all. That one is all about unrestricted scale. Keep these two warring philosophies in the back of your mind because they represent entirely different ways of treating human participation and gathering data in the modern age. Let's look at the first approach in Section 2, the bottleneck of control. Safe, but stagnant. The traditional closed system runs on a super simple premise. If you want high quality, you need tight control. To keep things clean, you strictly limit who actually gets to participate. Only the chosen few make it inside. From there, you keep all the moderation locked up internally with centralized, tightly managed teams. And finally, you just keep the entire system walled off from the outside world. Now, this does give you a highly reliable, incredibly predictable baseline of consistency. You know exactly what you're getting, but those walls, they are incredibly high. But here's the kicker, that strict safety practically guarantees stagnation. By limiting the players, you immediately suffer unavoidable casualties. We're talking fewer diverse perspectives, agonizingly slow iteration, and just a massive bottleneck on growth. Think about it. A centralized team can only review so much data in a given day. The platform might be perfectly safe, but it loses the ability to adapt and expand at the speed of the real world. You trade scale for security, and you basically end up standing completely still.
Which leads us directly to Section 3, the chaos of openness. Fast but chaotic.
Now this is the exciting antithesis. If that first approach was a crawl, this one is moving at light speed. You just throw the doors wide open. Anyone can contribute their data. Anyone can step in and validate. You literally step back, take your hands off the wheel, and watch the network scale organically. Doing this instantly unlocks a massive reservoir of collective intelligence. The speed of growth here is absolutely staggering compared to those closed walled gardens. It's vibrant, it's fast, and it really represents the true power of the internet. But, and you probably saw this coming, there is a massive catch. When your openness scales faster than your accountability, inconsistency just creeps in. If anyone can post, well, anyone can post garbage. Whether it's malicious spam or just careless errors, a completely open door invites all of it. And without a really strong mechanism for accountability, that noise acts exactly like a virus. It quietly and continuously degrades the overall quality of your platform until the useful signal is entirely drowned out by the static.
Now, let's look at what's at stake in Section 4, the threat to AI, the hidden danger of inconsistency.
Inconsistent data quietly, almost invisibly, damages absolutely everything built on top of it. When a system is poisoned by bad data, the very foundation rots. Now, you might not see the cracks immediately. Things might actually look completely fine on the surface. But any application, any consumer tool, and especially any complex model built on that flawed foundation will eventually collapse or just start spitting out highly unreliable results. And this right here is the absolute core vulnerability of modern AI. As brilliant as these models seem, they are entirely at the mercy of their underlying infrastructure. An AI scraping an open network doesn't natively know the difference between a carefully researched fact and a random, careless typo. It's a machine, right? Data is just data to it. Unless the infrastructure actively filters and weighs that info before feeding it into the model, the AI learns from the noise just as much as it learns from the signal. It's a classic rule: garbage in, garbage out. So what's the fix? That brings us to Section 5, the verifiable intelligence solution, the synthesis. So how do we actually bridge this massive gap? We know closed systems are way too slow and open systems are way too dangerous for AI. Well, enter Todata. Todata is a fascinating project because it acts as the perfect synthesis. It flat out refuses to choose between the bottleneck of control and the chaos of openness. Instead, it builds a structural bridge directly between the two, basically engineering a way to get the absolute best of both worlds. Here is the elegant solution, literally summed up in a single sentence. The network remains open, but trust becomes measurable. Verifiable intelligence keeps the massive organic scale of an open system, meaning absolutely anyone can still contribute to the network. But it solves the accountability problem by mathematically measuring the trust of those contributions. You don't close the door, you just meticulously weigh what comes through it.
And trust isn't just some subjective, fuzzy feeling here. It's a precise, multi-layered metric. First up, you measure contributor reputation to track historical accuracy. So you're identifying exactly who consistently provides good data. Then, you add validation layers to cross-check the actual inputs. After that, you apply confidence signals to mathematically weigh the certainty of the information. And finally, transparent provenance ensures you can always trace every single piece of data back to its exact origin. You're systematically measuring trust, completely without slamming the door in anyone's face. Ultimately, the goal of verifiable intelligence is not to build higher walls. The goal is to build smarter infrastructure, systems that actually learn which signals deserve credibility over time. This is genuinely the holy grail of network design, allowing fully open systems to scale to incredible global heights without ever collapsing into meaningless noise. It is the perfect marriage of unstoppable scale and pristine quality. I want to leave you with this final thought. As we build the next generation of digital infrastructure and AI, this is the absolute choice every platform faces. Will your systems scale into true intelligence, or will they collapse into noise? By embracing verifiable intelligence, we can ensure it's the former. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep building, and I'll catch you next time.